Hey y'all, so I'm back with a new video. Today we're going to talk about my 2020 makeup favorites. I received 2 messages recently asking like, hey, what foundation do you always wear? What concealer do you always wear? So I'm going to go ahead and just group all of my favorites, especially thinking about the past year, into this video, and then I will have the list of them below the video in the description, and I will link everything on Like to Know It so you can shop it. Of course, like, my favorites change all the time and I'm always trying out new stuff, but most of these are things that I have constantly gravitated towards when packing for trips and stuff. These are the same things that I constantly use. So we're gonna go ahead and run through those really quickly. It'll be a little talk through video. So to get started, I'm gonna try to go in order, I think. So we'll kind of start like as if I was doing my makeup. I think that makes the most sense. So let's start with primer. Primer that I mostly use is this TATCHA primer here, and it's the Silk Canvas. You can tell that I've used this a lot because I've hit pan. It's just like a little putty. It comes with a little spatula that you can kind of dip into. So this is what I apply most often underneath my makeup, and this is the big size. They do have a travel size. You can purchase this at Sephora. So this is TATCHA's Silk Canvas Primer. The foundation that I've used the most within the past year is this one by Charlotte Tilbury. It is her Airbrush Flawless. Okay, Airbrush Flawless Foundation. There we go. I bought this last September, I believe, so I've had it for over a year, and I love this. It's like a soft matte finish. It's full coverage, so if you're not like a full coverage person, you're not gonna love this because it's a little bit more of a thicker consistency. It has a pump, which I absolutely love. You'll see I have a lot of her products in this video. Anything by Charlotte Tilbury, I know I've said this before, is probably gonna be a favorite of mine. So I honestly try probably a new foundation every month. So it was hard to pick just one, but this is like my go-to foundation. For instance, like if I'm doing pictures or going out or something like that. I know when I had my 30th birthday photos done, this is the foundation that I used. So that kind of says a lot because I trust it. So this is my most used foundation of 2020. It's Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Foundation. And then thinking about concealer, I brought both of them because this is how much I love it. So I have it in 2 shades. This is Born This Way by Too Faced. This is the, what is this? The multi-use sculpting concealer. So they say you can use this for like concealing, contouring, highlighting, or just like for touch-ups. This is what I use, like how you normally see me apply my concealer underneath the eye, center of the nose, basically the center of the face. I use this, and I have 2 different shades. This is nude and this is almond. So I had to get like one of them I use more readily, like this one if I am just more pale, and this is what I use like more in the summer months, and then sometimes I mix them together. So this is my most used concealer. It's one of my most favorite concealers. I bought this after trying Tarte Shape Tape because everyone was raving about Tarte Shape Tape, and I did not like it because it's more of a drier consistency, so it would settle underneath my eyes because I have dry skin. So I needed something with a little bit more hydrating. So that's whenever I tried this out, and this replaced the Tarte Shape Tape for me. So if you're like someone who doesn't love Tarte Shape Tape, and I recommend trying this if that one's too dry for you. I think you would love this one because it's kind of like the same full coverage, very like smoothing under the eye, but it's not as drying. It's more of a hydrating concealer. So favorite concealer of 2020 was Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer by Too Faced. And then I know you guys have seen me use this before. This is my favorite contouring product. It is the NUDESTIX NUDIES Tinted Blur Stick. This is shade Deep, because you want to have like a cool tone, darker shade to contour, obviously, to make those shadows. So, and I like this, it's twist up. You can find this at Sephora or Ulta. So yeah, this is what I use to contour with, and then I'll set it with a powder, which I'll show you guys next. But this is NUDIES Nude Stick contour stick. Actually, I think it's a foundation stick, and I just use it as a contour stick. And I also have the Fenty Beauty one. I honestly prefer this one more than the Fenty Beauty one. So that's that. I normally would set it with this little palette here. This is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is her FILMSTAR Bronze and Glow palette. So this is the bronzer shade right here that I normally will set that contour with. And then this is a highlight shade. I use it sometimes. It's very subtle. It's more of a natural highlight. So I definitely prefer to use the bronzer out of here to set my contour. And this is by Charlotte Tilbury, which you can buy directly from her, Nordstrom, or Sephora. Continuing on with like bronzing, so I use that to set the contour. And then to bronze my face, I would say I used this one most of the past year. This is Tom Ford's Glow Bronzer. This is a more expensive product, but I have the small size. There's like a really big one. So if you go for the smaller one, it's pretty comparable to like any other higher end bronzers from Sephora. So this is what that shade looks like. It's just a very matte shade. It doesn't have any shimmer in it, which I don't really like in my bronzer. And it's just a pretty, like, not too orangey, not red. It's just a very natural bronze shade. So that's why I really, really like this one. And this is by Tom Ford. This is the Glow Bronzer in the shade 2 Terra. And the packaging is really cute. So, for setting powders, I have a couple because I use them all for different things. So all of these, I have 3. So I even have more than this in my collection. So the one that I probably use the most is this one, and it's by Charlotte Tilbury. Again, I told you I have a ton of her products, and this is the Magic Powder for under eye and face. So it's a loose powder like this, and it's just kind of a translucent color. So what I use for this is setting the concealer underneath my eye. I also will like sculpt out my contour with this. So that's why I use this one a lot for stuff like that. I like that it's loose. You can just dip in there and just like dab it wherever you need to. It's super easy. So this would probably be my most used setting powder. But if I'm setting my whole face, which I've done more so when we had to start wearing masks, because like where your mask sits, your makeup has a tendency to rub off right there, right? So I usually set this bottom half of my face really heavily nowadays. And so for that, I've been using this Peach Perfect Too Faced powder. It's just a very like matte, loose powder. Again, it kind of has, well, this one's nice too because it has this little thing over so it doesn't like spill out everywhere. And this one smells like peaches. But yeah, this is the Too Faced Peach Perfect. So I kind of use this to set all of my makeup, just like all over my face to kind of hold it in place, push it into my skin. So that's what I've used this one for more often. So the other one under my eyes and stuff, this one more so for like covering the face. And then recently I started loving this. I probably got this in the summer sometime. This is Charlotte Tilbury again's Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Micro Powder. This is in shade 2, medium. I think it comes in 3 shades, light, medium, and dark. So it is a pressed powder. And I like to use this because it gives you an airbrush finish. So for instance, if I wasn't having to wear a mask all the time and use this powder, This is the powder that I would set like my smile lines with. I even set my under eye with this if I don't have the other Charlotte Tilbury loose powder. This just really makes your skin like super smooth. It's not mattifying, it's just smooth and airbrushed, if that makes sense. So this is like a more recent fave halfway throughout the year. The other two are probably like gold standard faves, if that makes sense. So that's it for setting powder, I promise. Let's talk about blush. So I have two blush favorites just because blush is one of those things that like, I don't consistently use the same blush over and over. I try to like match my blush to like whatever matches my eyeshadow that day. You know, in the summer I use like more pink tones, but in the winter I use more like mauves. So you know, that kind of thing. So thinking about those two things, in the like fall and winter, this is my favorite blush. It's been my favorite for several years now. It's by MAC. I honestly love a lot of MAC's blushes. I have several of them, but this would be my most used. It's a shade Melba, and it's just a really pretty like nude peachy pink color. So I feel like it's very fitting year round. So again, this is MAC Melba. So this would be like a go-to blush. I would use this really anytime. But when compared to this blush, this is more of my like spring and summer blush shade that I'll gravitate toward. So this is Hourglass's Ambient Euphoric Fusion. Again, I've had this one for I think 2 years now, and it's just more of a like goldy shimmer mauve blush. So this is more like a spring and summer just because it has those hints of shimmer in it, and it looks really pretty like when you're tan. It kind of gives you that gold glistening look, but it still has those pink undertones, which I like. I like pinks and corals in blushes, whereas the Melba one is a matte shade, so it doesn't have like any shimmer. So if you have a preference of matte versus shimmer, I would say try MAC's because it's very matte. If you like a little bit of shimmer in your blushes, the ones by Hourglass, they have several, all of the colors are honestly really pretty. Try this one if you are more of like a satin shimmery kind of blush gal. Okay, let's talk about eyeshadows. I honestly have a couple of these too. It's hard to like pick like my most used products because I kind of like just grab towards whatever's sitting on top, or you know, I'll change it up based on like what I'm doing or something. So just in general, probably my most used eyeshadows are these, and they're the same, they're just different shades. And the reason why I would say I use these the most is honestly probably because of the size. They're super compact, so I can like throw these in my purse. I use these for travel just because it doesn't take up a lot of space in my makeup bag. Like you can see, it's like the size of my palm, and it's just, they're easy. And also they are super pigmented, really pretty, blendable, easy to work with. These are the mini sizes. So this is NATASHA DENONA's mini size based on her palette. So her palettes range like way up there, like honestly $89 to like $100 and something. These little guys are like 20 or 24, and you still get like the same size that would be in her palette. You just get fewer shades, of course. So this one is probably the one that I use the most, and you can kind of tell here, just because, so it's just a really easy like nude palette. Like this I'd put in my crease, this I would smoke it out with a little bit, and then these two shimmers for like my lid, and then this is just if you want to go a little crazy. So that's that one. And then this is the same thing. This is another NATASHA DENONA palette. And again, you can see I stick to like very neutral colors here, like this camel brown, bronzy, and gold shades. So these are like my go-to grab and go travel palettes that I use. And then in general, My most used just overall eyeshadow palette is probably this one in the past year. This is Tarte's Tartelette palette in Toasted. I've had this for a year now and I use it all the time. It's just got all my kinds of shades in there, just those really neutral browns and then the gold and bronzy shimmer shades. It's even got like this little cream here to highlight underneath the brow. You can smoke it out with this color. Then this is like what I would use in the crease right here, this little triangle of shades. So this is Tartelette's Toasted palette. This is my most used eyeshadow palette in general of 2020. Let's talk about eye products, continuing from the eyeshadow palette. So for just regular eyeliner, pencil eyeliner, like when I'm doing my lash liner, something like that, my go-to brown is this Brownie shade by Marc Jacobs. Love Marc Jacobs pencils, number one, because they're twist up. You don't have to sharpen them, which is definitely preferred by me because that's one less thing I have to do. Plus it's just a really pretty brown shade. And I usually prefer like a brown eyeliner versus black, just because I feel like a black can be like really harsh or, you know, too much for my daytime wear. So I'll stick to the browns. Usually if I'm using black, the black eyeliner that I use is this one by Makeup Forever. And this is just, I think it's just like black. It says M10. But again, it's a twist up and it just wears really well. It doesn't like, a lot of black eyeliners you'll see like they'll kind of like melt into your inner eye and like get underneath here and smudge. This one just stays in place. I think that's why I really like this one as a black. Again, this is Makeup Forever's Artist Liner and you can find this at Sephora. Now for liquid eyeliner, which I honestly don't do that too much, but the one that I have found that's easy for me to work with is this one by Morphe. It's called Blackout, and it is just a little brush liner. So it's just like this. So you can just, it's just a really deep black too, and it dries. It's not like completely matte. It's kind of like a silky matte line. So this is by Morphe. If you're in the buying market for a new liquid eyeliner, highly recommend this one by Morphe, especially if you're like me and eyeliner is not your friend. This makes it a little bit easier. Then I went ahead and included a mascara. I honestly don't like wear mascara a whole lot because for like the first half of the year I did eyelash extensions, and then now I've been doing, since quarantine, I've just done like my own like strip lashes. So I just need something usually just to throw on there just to blend the natural lash to the strip lash. And so for that, this is what I've been using. It is super, super cheap. I think it's like $2.99. You can find this like at CVS, Walgreens, and Ulta. And this is Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. It really, and even if you don't have fake lashes on, this does really, really good if you just do like a couple of coats. But this is the type of brush that it has. So it kind of just like really gets in there and lifts and lengthens your lashes. And it doesn't like have a lot of fallout. So for as cheap as it is, it's so, so good. I actually bought the primer of this brand too, like the lash primer to put on before this, to try out since I loved this so much, and it's honestly pretty good as well for the value. So yeah, mascara was hard for me to pick just because, like I said, I don't really wear mascara a whole lot, but I would say I probably have used this one the most, especially probably in the last like 3 to 4 months. So that's why I wanted to share this one. Plus for the value, I thought you guys needed to know about it because it's a good mascara. All right, let's move on to highlighter. And before we do that, actually, let me talk about this because this is like my ride or die makeup applicating product. It's the Beauty Blender sponge. I have tried a bunch of off-brand beauty blenders, and the Beauty Blender itself is like my favorite. It just is different. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just different to me. So you can tell like this thing is so dirty, but yeah, so this is what I apply my foundation with like 95% of the time. Unless I'm in a hurry, it's quicker to do like a brush. So yes, the Beauty Blender is my most used like face tool of 2020. Then for highlighter, this one I have used like crazy, and this is by Fenty Beauty. This is Hustla Baby Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter, and it is just so pretty. I don't even know. It's kind of like a rosy gold. You can tell how much I've used this highlighter. A lot. I also like it because this is the travel size version, and it's just like compact and easy for me to grab and use. So yeah, so this is probably my most like used, my most favorite highlighter of 2020. But I also really love this highlighting palette. It's called the Flash. It's by Jaclyn Hill, and I'll show you why. The reason why I just don't use it as much as that one is because it's just like so big and bulky. Like it's just a big palette. So this just always sits at home. I don't travel with it or anything, but I use it a lot. And I mainly use these 3 shades right here. Probably these 2. Yeah, probably these 2 the most. They're just super pretty. They melt into your skin. I want to say it makes it like have like a wet effect, but it's just because it's like they're not creamy, they're powders, but they just melt so flawlessly and seamlessly into the skin. So yes, if I'm looking for a highlighter palette, this is what I grab. It's the Jaclyn Flash highlighting palette, and you can buy this from her website. But if I'm looking for just a good old highlighter to slap on, it's the Fenty Beauty one. And she has plenty of other shades, so these wear really well also. So if you want to try her products, she has, if you're not into this shade, she has plenty of more, and they all obviously are gonna have the same payoff, just different colors. Okay guys, so we're almost done here. We're gonna talk about lip products next. I didn't realize I have so many lip products. Obviously, I had a hard time picking these out. Okay, so I always use this before I apply my lipstick. So I'll do a liner first, and then I'll do this. And this is a primer for your lips, so it kind of just like smooths out your lips. So this is just MAC's Prep and Prime. It's just like a clear primer. Like you can see, there's like no payoff there, but it just smooths everything out, and so it helps like everything glide on better and not settle into like your cracks, or if your lips are dry or something like that. This is just very helpful. So I love this guy. I've used this for several years now. So this is definitely a go-to, probably a yearly favorite, is the MAC Prep and Prime for my lips. And then for liners, I have 2 here. First one is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. This is a really pretty nude. This is like an everyday liner that I would use. Actually, this is what I'm wearing today for a liner. And you can tell like this pencil is shrinking down. I've used it so much. So love Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury for like a good nude liner. I buy these all the time. I probably have like 20 of these in different shades, of course. But this one is my favorite one by MAC, and this is MAC Strip Down. Again, it's just a really pretty nude. This one has a little bit more brown in it, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury has a little bit more of a pink undertone. So if you're in the market for a good nude lip liner, I would say grab Strip Down by MAC or Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. Now for lip products, I literally am always trying new lip products. I have so many, not kidding you. But this is just like one of my favorite nudes. It goes on well, it's pretty inexpensive, and it lasts, and it's a liquid lipstick, so it sits like all day, especially if you're like going out to have drinks or dinner or something. You will still have your lips on afterwards. So that's why I like this as a liquid lipstick, because a lot of liquid lipsticks to me are super drying, and I can't wear them because they just like don't look good after a couple of hours. But this one I do like, and this is by Morphe, and the shade is Virgin. And again, it is just a simplistic, good old nude lipstick, so it's a little bit lighter than what I have on today. So you can find this like at Morphe stores or at Ulta, and I think it's like $7 or something. It's under $10. So love this one by Morphe. And then if I'm grabbing a lipstick, which I do like to wear lipstick, but it just isn't as long lasting. So like I said, I would wear that if I'm going to dinner or have drinks, or I'm going somewhere where I'm not going to be able to really reapply my makeup or touch it up. I will then wear a lipstick, which is honestly preferred because those are just so drying on me. And this is MAC's satin lipstick, which is not matte, which is why I prefer the lipstick route, because they're a little bit hydrating. They're not just like dry on your lips. This is the shade Cherish. I have 2 of these. This one is almost out. Like, I think this is about all, yeah, that I have left in this one. So I use the shade a lot. Again, it's a nude. I am a nude girl. I like nude eyeshadows, like neutrals. I like nude lipsticks, nude lip liners. That's just my go-tos. Makes it easy. So for lip products, those are the 2, a lipstick and the liquid lipstick, that I prefer. A gloss, the most used gloss for 2020 is this one by Marc Jacobs. This is this is Cream and Sugar. They also have a sugar one that I like. But this is just kind of like a pinky gold lip gloss. And they're just like super hydrating and easy. It's a color that can go over any lipstick, and it lasts. It doesn't just like soak into your lips, and then there's no sheen there. So I love Marc Jacobs lip glosses, and you can find these at Sephora or Nordstrom. All right, guys, we're just about done. Only one other thing, I think. Yeah, one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is my setting sprays. I'm a like ride or die setting spray girl. I know a lot of people like don't notice a difference with setting spray. I use setting spray every time I do my makeup, and if I don't have it, I feel like my makeup is incomplete. Fortunately or unfortunately, I have 2 setting spray favorites. And honestly, just because this one is by MAC, and I've used MAC setting spray for like years now, and I've gone through so many of these, so like I know that it's a favorite, not just of 2020. And they come in like different scents. So this one I think is, yeah, this one's coconut. That's why it's got this tint to it. But it's just Max Fix Plus. It gives like a really nice spray. It's pretty evenly distributed. It's just not like soaks your face in one spot. And then like I said, they have like a basic one. This one's coconut. I've used the rose one. They had a cucumber one for a while. I don't know if there's any other new ones right now, but the classic one has always been like a go-to before they started coming out with these scented ones. So Max Fix Plus is my setting spray that has been a favorite for quite some time. But in the past year, the one that I have like kind of substituted out for the MAC one, I mean, I still use the MAC one, obviously. You've seen me use it in videos, is Morphe's Continuous Setting Mist. So this is just like one of their limited edition like cans. They always make different ones. But I love this one because it's a different sprayer than the MAC. It's like a, I don't know, I think it's more of a finer mist, but like just so refreshing. So I love, yeah, love it. This is definitely probably a favorite, and I have probably used a couple of cans of these. Not, I mean, like probably like 5 of these in the past year. So this one is slowly replacing MAC, but MAC is like always going to be a tried and true. So either one of these, if you're looking for a setting spray, highly recommend either of them. This one's probably a little bit more inexpensive, the one by Morphe, which you can find at Ulta. I can't remember how much it is, but I think it's under $10 or right at $10. And then the MAC one's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Let me see how much you get. But you get, yeah, you get more fluid ounces in the MAC one. So I'm sure it evens out somewhere along the way. So that's it, guys. That's all of my tried and true makeup favorites. So again, I will go ahead and like post everything down below in the description, like what I talked about, so you can see the names of it. And then I will have everything linked on Like to Know It. So if you don't have the Like to Know It app, go ahead and grab it, because those links always stay there. You can favorite the item. So say you liked the concealer that I talked about tonight, you can go on my Like to Know It, you can heart it, it saves it to your little heart folder, and then you can go back whenever you're ready to purchase it, you know, a couple months down the road, you'll be like, oh, that's the concealer that I wanted to try out, you know? So Like to Know It just makes it super easy whenever you're like wanting to try out any products that I talk about, or if you're just interested in things that I'm usually wearing on my face, there you can shop those things without having to like direct message me or anything, because I will have everything saved there for y'all. But feel free to always message me if you have any questions. I'll either point you in the direction to where I have that listed, or I'll share it with you. So that concludes our video. I hope this is helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys try out some of these products if you do, or if you have any of these that you love, or any recommendations of things that I should try, let me know. I honestly probably order makeup at least once monthly. Like I said, I'm always trying out new products. It's literally so much fun for me to do. So if you have any recommendations of something that I should try that you love and you think I would love, please comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe. And that is it. I will see you guys next time.